All right. I'll just say, good to get through the spring game. I think we got through healthy. I didn't see anyone on the ground or limping off too bad. So that's the number one thing you're always trying to get to make sure it happens in the spring game. Not that I have control of it, but first and foremost, that's number one. And I think number two is it was just fun for the guys to get out in front of fans. And I think we needed that a little bit. I feel like there's a little bit of jitteriness, and it's something different than a normal spring, and the atmosphere and all that. So it was good. Lot to learn. I feel like there's every practice we have guys focusing on things that they know we need to do better, and that will happen again watching the film from today. Got any questions?
What's you learned about your quarterbacks this last month?
Yeah, I think there's each of them bring a little something different. I thought Sam had one of his best days today. I thought he just kept playing, and that's what he's been doing. Thought he came, and as the scrimmage went on, didn't shy away from trying to make throws and overthink, and I really have appreciation for that, because that's something I know he's working on. And I think Dylan, had some times, and I think there's something just with all of them still where there's just being in sync, and might take it's a drop here or a drop there, and then they don't get a chance to get back on the field for another 25 minutes because we rotate 3 quarterbacks. I think that's the hard part with finding that rhythm, and that's a part of the situation we're in, and I think they've made the most of it. But Dylan, I thought he's got the arm talent. There's no question, and he's done a pretty good job of protecting the football all spring long, as has Mike. Today, I think he did have a couple picks. I'm not sure what happened on the one, if a guy fell down. I think it was maybe Devin or something, but they've done a really good job of taking care of the football. I think maybe 2 picks all spring in any session going into today. So, it's good to be in this situation, have your backs to the wall, keeping score, keeps it competitive. The last drive, I told both sides of the ball, this is going to be it, and it's always fun to see what happens when crunch time comes. And I thought all of them had their times, but we all see that they have areas where they need to continue to get better.
You mentioned 2 interceptions before today, all spring. Is that for all 3 of those guys, or
that was, I think, for Mike. Mike and Dylan have been very protective of the football. I'd have to ask Coach Grubb exactly, but we track every throw, and the protection of the football has been extremely high. So, especially when it comes to interceptions.
Coach, when we talked to Coach Huff on Thursday, we asked him about Jackson Kirkland, and he pretty much said, you got to ask Coach DeBoer about that. Any update on that?
No, I would love to give you an update. So, nothing right now. So we're anxiously waiting. So
it seems like you guys did try out a lot of different offensive line units. Just how have you seen certain guys grow? It seems like Garion's gotten a few chances at a few places. Which guys have you seen grow, especially on the offensive line this spring?
Yeah, the offensive line units. I mean, we tried to have a starting point of just a 1 and a 2s, and then you rotate some guys in and give a chance to get them all the reps. But I think you're pretty rock solid, with Corey, being there at center, and I think from there. There's a lot of guys that are very consistent, and we got to continue. There's wild cards. With a Jackson potentially being back, then that moves some guys around. But I think you look at the ones that are out there. They're out there for a reason. They're the ones that have been consistent throughout most of the spring. But I will say this: the 2s, they are right there, and they are working. And the thing I think about some of those guys that are the 2s, they have a lot of potential, and so they continue to get better. They're still young, and they're pushing those guys that are taking the reps with the quote 1s, I guess.
Kalen, was this one of your better days?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I'd have to watch the film again, but it seemed like, I like the ball. You see the old connection with him and Junior Alexander. That's kind of fun to see. That was great. And I thought even the ones that weren't completed, I thought he was doing a good job going through progressions and not overanalyzing and things like that. And so, we've had some great talks just going through the spring and the last week, just things that, hey, this is how we want to finish. And I've done that with, the other quarterbacks as well, but it was good to see. I thought I was really proud of him.
Would you say at this point, are those three guys still on even ground, or is there a sense, I mean, I know obviously Mike took the first snaps today, and it seemed like Mike and Dylan had more of the reps with the supposed ones. How would you kind of say that?
Yeah, and I don't want to get into all of a sudden we're naming a starter, because I think there's too much time this summer and fall to get into it. But I think there is a little bit where, if you had to pick a guy, you're putting the guys that you see taking most of the reps with the ones and twos in those spots. And so we are trying to also balance reps with the ones and the twos even through today, so some of that's happening. So don't read between the lines too much on that, but I know it sounds like I'm trying to keep it close to the vest. It's just honestly we aren't in a position yet where we want to name a starter, and we want that to continue on through the summer. I think they're very supportive of each other. They all understand it's a great competition. They all respect the position that they're in and each other and how they're all handling it, and that's what I love to see right now. But they're all battling, and I think the biggest thing is I want to challenge them in their leadership. Probably the hardest thing when you're in a quarterback battle is to step up, and I don't want those guys worried about, I'm going to step on someone's toes. I want them taking charge, and that's the biggest challenge that we're putting forth to them that we want to see here in the weeks and months ahead.
Coach, it seemed like it was a great day for Junior Alexander out there today. What kind of growth have you seen from him since he transferred in?
Yeah, it's been hard because he's been dinged up a little bit throughout the spring. So he didn't practice much the last couple of weeks, and it was a little bit off and on. And, so him getting out there and getting a chance to make a couple plays, he's really grown in. I see the relationships going strong, the belief that guys have in him continuing to grow. And it's really cool. It's moments like some of the catches he had today where it just springboards guys, and hopefully that's the case with Junior as he goes into the summer, taking that next step, because we need those guys. We need him, we need him, and we need more depth in the receiving core.
Going into the off season, if that's what you want to call it, between now and fall ball, what are some areas of concern that you just really need to shore up?
I think the running back, we've talked about it from day one before even spring ball started, is just seeing, the health status, which continues to be, ongoing and fluid. That's probably the biggest thing that's in our minds. And I think early on, I felt like our run defense was maybe a little bit not where I wanted it, but the last 2 or 3 weeks, I really think we've gotten a lot better, and I like where we're at there. And so our pass rush has been super consistent all spring long. It's been hard to handle the edges. You saw that again today. There's maybe even a sack or two that could have been called. I'm that guy with the whistle, and so the DNs are always looking at me, wondering where the sack's at. But I thought those are some of the areas that we've really shored up, and the run defense, and I think this the consistency probably in the offense, where that just comes through reps. It comes with guys working together, whether it be quarterback with receivers or just running the same plays more times. We got to run each concept more than what we've done just through these 15 practices, and that comes through the summer, it comes through the fall, and then you really hone in, going into your game plans. When you go through a spring ball, you're throwing everything at them. There's probably 8 game plans or 10 game plans that these guys are running, in the course of 15 practices, which is a lot to bring in. You try to hone in for a spring game, a few plays, narrow it down for them so they can execute and not have to think too much. But, that's where we're at, and that's what we'll continue to work on.
You're probably inevitably going to have some transfers tomorrow, just because it's, today's a spring game, tomorrow is the deadline for the portal. How much is the roster just influx when you're waiting to see kind of how things are going to shake out?
Yeah, I think you're always trying to make your roster better. You're always, it's just the world we live in with college football, and every day, we're recruiting depth with our 23 class because guys are going to come and guys aren't. And we're, continuing to work our roster, just try to make it stronger with the relationships and trying to really do the best we can to show the roles that guys can have in this program, even if it's not at the level where they want it to be at this point in their careers. And I think that's the piece, is not getting so caught up with, immediate gratification and immediate results, but thinking, okay, I'm going to be a different player 2 months from now, 4 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and having that patience, trying to get stories in front of these guys where they hear the guys that just hung in there and stayed the course. And, that's a lot of what we're trying to do, but we certainly understand that some of that's going to happen, and, you just move on, and you love the guys that are here with us that want to be a part of it.
Are there guys who have communicated to you already that they intend to transfer?
We've started some individual meetings, and I think there's some ongoing discussions with a few guys, just kind of waiting to see. So, there could be some of that happens here.
Coach, we talked to Coach Morrell on Wednesday, I believe, or maybe it was Tuesday, sorry. And he said that he felt from where he thought it would be that the defense was ahead of where he thought it would be. Do you feel the same way, and where do you feel about the offense?
Yeah, I do. I really do feel that about the defense. I think they've done an awesome job of coming in with a plan. I'm just going to go back to even before New Year's. This defensive staff, was for the most part, other than Coach Juice, those guys were coaching a bowl game around December 20th. And they celebrated a couple days of Christmas, and they were already working on things, trying to put their system and refine the system, because the system's base is the same, but there are some things that they refined that they knew going in they could be more efficient at installing it. And they were here by December 27th and went nonstop, just grinding every single day to try to put the organization piece together to where it could be really efficient. The guys can understand it. There's clarity, and we're not sitting here fumbling through, what's this call mean? What's that call? Oh, let's try this. That's not what it's been. It's been very methodical process installing the defense. I've been really impressed with our defensive coaches and the togetherness they've had, and I think our players have really felt that. And I say it again, I think the last 2 to 3 weeks they have taken some huge steps, big stops, over and over and over in our drives. We do a lot of move the ball sessions, just like you saw today, and time again, they're doing some really good things. And that's what gets hard to evaluate. Is your defense really excelling, or did the offense miss an opportunity? When you ask offensively, I think it's just that consistency. You get in that rhythm, and you can see what it can be. You get in that rhythm, you can see how some boom, 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 the ball's going down the field. The pass protection's there. Quarterback's making a quick check. It's something that's not really long, elongated. Now we lost our tempo, and quarterback's making the throw when the receiver's breaking. The ball's taken care of, high and tight. And so you see a lot of those things continuing to happen. But then all it takes is one play where one guy not sure of a signal, which throws off the rhythm. And that happened a lot out there today again too. So we just keep moving forward and keep challenging guys to continue to learn the offense on the next level. So I'm happy with where both sides are at. I do think the defense made some huge strides above and beyond probably what we expected.
Good. All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kalen.
Thanks, Coach.